Hello, welcome to Terry Tuesday at Horse Racing Today. Terry, how are you feeling? You had a decent day yesterday. I was just a couple of horses away from running the card again, and I should have stuck with my trifectas and stayed away from the pick fours and stuff.
Yeah, well, I hit that pick four in the last race, the last four.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if I had used my third pick in that first leg of that fifth pick five, I would have hit that pick five. So, my third
Yeah,
pick won.
I didn't play the pick four, and I think I have 3 out of the top 4 picks were my top pick at the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just one of those days where, yeah, I think I had the winner as my top pick in half the races yesterday, and somehow managed not to collect many tickets. That's difficult to do at times.
It is. Yeah. Well, I had a little bit of a positive day, not large, but 11%. That's good.
Hey, anytime I've said there's 3 people at the track, 3 different kinds of people, right? How did you do today? I did okay. They got their rear ends handed to them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I broke even crowd, right? They just lost a little bit of money, or maybe half of their money. And then it was an all right day. The person who won a lot that doesn't want to admit they won a lot.
Right.
So those are the 3 kinds of people at the track. And anyway, so hopefully last night you tuned in for Horse Center with Sean and Julie. They had on jockey Gerald Almodovar.
Yeah.
Interesting conversation they had last night. It's a grandma horse racing pointed out, Gerald talking a little bit about maintaining weight. And in the back, he's got a picture, bon appetit. So a little bit of irony, so to speak.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It was nice. It was good. It was a long interview, about an hour long. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, to keeping folks entertained for a while, huh? It's one of those conversations that takes a long time but goes by quickly, right?
Yeah. Well, he's pretty popular. He had a lot of people watching and a lot of comments.
Mm-hmm.
So,
indeed, tonight we're not quite sure. We had a cancellation, so we don't know who's going to be the guest tonight. So keep an eye on our social media sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day down there. I think we're going to try to get the young announcer who just announced the track race at Turf Paradise. Perhaps he's written a couple of articles for us as well. I think we did one article about him. He did it on our own. Who am I that Sean does? And in any case, I get confused easily, Terry. But we won't get confused what we're doing today. So today, starting at Parx in race number 1, another nice card today, Terry, with some $75,000 stakes races in there as well. So we'll start as we always do at the top. Red race number 1, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming 10,000. So we're not getting the stakes races quite yet in race number 1. At 6 furlongs, the horses that win tend to have tactical speed. 35% go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7 play mostly fair. 8 and out get a bonus. There will be horses that do wear 8 and out today. So perhaps you'll want to take advantage of that when you're doing your handicapping. Maybe upgrade horses like Yellowmont and Treasure Seeker. Here you see 1,000 simulations for early speed, 1,000 simulations using speed figures so that we can generate an idea of who's going to be where when they hit the quarter-mile marker. And if we can find any odds where perhaps we can get some a little bit better price than maybe the horse should be valued at.
Yeah.
What do you see to get the day started, Terry?
Well, that 8 looks like it's got lots of speed. Should go to the front and could lead all the way, although I don't have it in any of my picks. And then the overlays are the 3. As you see, it's supposed to be around 3-1 and simulated odds, and it's set at 6-1 in the morning line. Mm-hmm. And then the 5 supposed to be like 8-1 in the simulated odds, and you got a whopping 15-1 on it. So
yes, on that morning line, indeed, for sure. So hopefully that plays out well. I noticed yesterday a couple of those horses that were favored in our simulations actually did score, which is, there's nothing that's perfect, unfortunately. We wish we could find the perfect, but then we wouldn't share it, to be honest. All right, so in race number 1, we do like to map out how the race might play out based upon winning style, or this is really a map of the running style that we think a horse will need to win. So the 4 is the E-horse, probably on the lead. EP types, none of them in here, but they can be on the lead or sit right off the shadows of the leader. P horses are those that have been close to the lead, but don't necessarily take the lead. Although we do see here, as we saw in the simulation, this 8 horse has a +7 advantage, so 7 points higher than the next horse at the half-mile marker. It's going to absolutely be on the front. at least one part of it. And you got a bunch of horses back here that want to close. So I've seen it a lot of times where this guy, even if it doesn't look good on paper, gets to the lead, gets confident, and gets tough to beat. Who are you confident is going to win today, Terry?
Well, I like that number 7, that closer, Aztec Queen. She finished 5th in her last race after bobbling and being bumped at the start of the race. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 38% of the time when dropping a horse down 2 classes. And I like number 2 as my second choice bet on Drama. She's finished in the money in 3 out of 4 races this year, finishing 3rd versus similar in last race, and her best dirt speed is fastest among state starters. Then I like number 4 of my third pick, Angel of the Galaxy. Finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. And then my long shot is 3, Charlie's Wild Angel. She ran 2nd versus.
So which one was the Wild Angel? Farrah Fawcett? Was that the one that was the Wild Angel?
I think so, don't you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she finished 2nd in her versus similar in her last race. I'm going to play a $1 daily double. I like starting off with the daily double every time because I hit a lot of times and it gives me money to play through the day. So I'm going to use the 2 and the 7 with the 2, 7, 9. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play a pick 4 in the first race. I'm going to use the 2, 4, 7. Second race, 2, 7, 9. I'm going to single the 2. And then I'm going to single the 2 in the last leg.
So if it goes 2, 2, 2, and 2, it'll go all 2s and Terry will have it. And so will I on the pick 4. In fact, maybe you might want to throw a $1 ticket down or a $2 ticket down on 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, just in case, right, Terry? You know, I just spoke it into existence, so it's going to happen now.
Yeah, that's what you should do because it's going to happen now that you said that.
So bet on Drama. At least I think the 2 horses going to kick it off in the first leg. Did run the top last race speed figure after increasing its speed figure 2 in a row. So maybe we can make it 3 in a row here. Number 7, Aztec Queen, trainer Ernesto Precadio has moved horses down 2 classes 13 times this year, won 5 of them. And this horse ran better fractions in career start number 2. Number 8, Yaloma. This one is a track dropper, I think coming in from Gulfstream Park. Does have that 7-point early edge at 4 furlongs. And if you look at that last Parx workout, it was pretty sharp. So I think you're going to see good performance out of Yaloma. And then 6, Hip Hop Hooray. Ooh, only 3rd start in its career. Maybe this horse has more upside as it catches first-time Lasix. I'm going to do a pretty cheap pick 4 to get started. I'm going to go 2 with the 2, 7, 8, with the 2, 4, with the 2, 3, 4. I think that's $6 to kick out to kick out race number 1, Terry.
Okay.
That is a hot dog.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
One of them skinny wieners. Good morning, Melvin Torres. How are you today? His pick 5, he likes the 2 and the 7 in race 1. In race number 2, he's agreeing with Terry right there. In race let's go back to race number 1. And then race number 2, he's agreeing with both of us. He likes the 7, the 8, and the 9. Race number 3, singling the 4. Race number 4, singling the 2 like Terry. And then race number 5, the 3, 4. No 2 on the back end for Melvin in his pick 5. If, like Melvin, you have some picks that you want to share with us on the comment section or any questions, anything that you want to put out there for the universe to see, hit us up in the comment section. We appreciate it. All picks are welcome, right, Terry?
That's right.
Indeed. So race number 2, which is where we're going to go next, is another 7 furlong race, claiming 5,000 non-winners of 1 in a year. At 7 furlongs, early speed wins again with 38%. So a really fat number going wire to wire. There is a very strong inside 3 bias. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out, play fair. Terry, speed should play a big role in race number 2. And it looks like there'll be plenty of them that will want to get to the front.
That's correct. You know, that 8, 3, and 7 all have lots of speed. And, all 3 will try to get to the lead at the quarter pole. See there's 2 scratches, the 5 and the 6. Mm-hmm. As far as the overlays go, there's a small overlay from the 2, which is supposed to be 3-1 simulated odds, 5-1 on the morning line. But there's a really nice one on the 4. It's supposed to be less than like 1.5-1, and it's set at 5-1. So
yeah, nice one there. We both have them 4th. We might regret that, huh?
Yeah, we might.
We might indeed. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet, we do see that the 5 horse is not in this race. There was another one that's out too, the 6. When you look at it, like, once again, you see the 3 horse sitting out here as a lone E, one that wants to get to the front when it wins. Might have a shot to do that today, although I think the 8's going to have a big say in this. This one has a +8 early speed advantage through the first quarter mile. It goes to double digits at 4 furlongs, so you're going to want to keep an eye on that 8. As they come down the stretch at the end, the 4 horse has a very strong late kick relative to everybody else, and probably going to run the most complete race with the best combination of early speed and late speed, Terry. And that's also that one that we pegged as a value horse according to its morning line odds. And I think we might regret putting it fourth.
It could be right there, but I took the number 7, Wagon Boss. You know, this horse was entered yesterday and scratched. Also entered today, was entered for both days. And so I think that the connections made a decision that today was a better spot to race this horse. Well, he ran second in his last race. He only lost by a short nose. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 2, Magatron. He drops in class today, should improve while returning to a sprint. And he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then I like number 9, Indirectly. He ran second versus similar in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. And then there's that number 4 horse that's kind of scaring us as my long shot. He drops in class today and has the highest last speed rating.
I'm going to crack it out with Forest Fires when I think it's going to do better in Charles's favorite handicapping angle, the 3rd off the break. It does have that really strong early speed edge all the way through the first half mile. So it's the one that they're going to have to pass at a distance where almost 40% go wire to wire. 7, Wagon Boss, missed by a nose in his last, and that was despite having better fractions. Number 2, Magnetron. Last race was better than it ended on paper. Did have better fractions at 1 mile and 70 yards compared to the previous effort at the same distance. Then finally, number 4, Manhawkin. Did run the top last race speed figure, and now is going to drop to its lowest level that it's run in more than 10 races. So I think we're probably going to regret not having it first or second, Terry. But I think the pace setup should favor the horses that are closer to the front. You skipped this one. I didn't. I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, 2, 7, 8, over to 7, 8, over to 2, 4, 7, 8, and 9 for our $100 budget. Because we come into the show with the theme of a $100 challenge where we have $100 to spend, like if we're going to the track on a low budget, and we want to have a little bit of action in as many races as possible with some possible big payouts. Race 3 is 6.5 furlongs. We'll be looking for a payout in this maiden $50,000 race. This one is for registered Pennsylvania breds. And for 6.5 furlongs, again, early speed is the factor here. Again, another time where we see a lot going wire to wire, 38% again. Unlike 7 furlongs, there's a little bit of a rail discount, although Ice won't be penalized because it's not in this race. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 and 7 a discount, 8 and out. So it looks like it's an on-off in terms of post positions, Terry. I think that 1 horse scratching in here, Ice, was a big scratch.
It was. It was actually one of my key horses. But with it being scratched, I think the 7 should have no problem getting to the quarter pole, according to our simulated, lead. Mm-hmm. And then as far as simulated odds, the 4 horse looks like it's pretty good. It's almost double what the simulated odds say it's going to be. It's 4-1. So
yeah, morning line 4-1, and Bruno Barber Girl maybe be value all the way down to 2-1. So keep that in mind when race 3 comes to bear. Also keep in mind what the potential race shape looks like in race 3. Again, the 1 horse, which would have been your big favorite, is out. So we have a pretty evenly balanced race here. Another one where a 2 horse has a shot to win, Terry. Most of the horses, except for the 2, want to be in the middle or back. So the 2 can get out to a lead, but I do think he will be challenged by the 7. Does have a +6 early speed advantage. And then on the way home, the 4 horse has a lot of late legs, 5 points better than anybody else. So should be able to make up a length with about 1/8 of a mile or 1/16 to go. Should look like it's running the fastest at the end, Terry. The end, yeah. Who's going to be the fastest to the finish line?
Well, I'll tell you, once that 1 was scratched, I thought it made it a lot easier for the 2. So I like the 2 as my first choice. She finished third versus similar in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 4 is my second pick, Bruno Barber Girl. She ran second versus similar in her last race, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 5, Map of Life. Let's see. I've got is that the right name?
Map of Life, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. She has a high percentage. Has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then number 7 has an early foot. She was well bet in her debut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Barry Knight saying, good morning, fellas. My 4-horse yesterday in race 3 won. I think we noticed that. The horse be with you. Today's best bet for me is in race number 6, the 1-horse. God Still Loves Me. Let's all hope that's indeed true in real life. Can't wait to hear our thoughts on that. We'll be there shortly. In this race, Terry, you like the 10 to win on the 2, huh?
Yes, I do. Yeah, $10 to win.
And I like Bruno Barber Girl. The 4-horse is my first pick in here. It is that overlay, as you mentioned, Terry, the only one that's left after the 1-horse taking a hike today. This guy's been really close at Parx, ran 10 times, 5 seconds in a third. And so far this year, out 3 times with 2 seconds. Divinary, the 2-horse, Divinary, could be the lone E, as we saw on the pace worksheet. And another one that's performed okay at Parx, 6 times around the Ben Salem track with a couple of seconds and thirds. Number 3, Imagine Rita, does have a +7 late pace advantage and the early pace, late pace edge of +7 as well, and is the lone PC horse in here. Number 5, Map of Life. That one is decently bet in both of its races so far. Going to catch the first dose of Lasix. I'm going to go with the 2-3-4 with the 2-4 with the 2-3-4-7 as my trifecta in race number 3. Race number 4 as we power forward. This one is a 6 furlong race, Terry. It is an allowance race. At 6 furlongs, as we mentioned, tactical speed is the way to the winner's circle, but 35% still managed to go wire to wire. So you can see through the first 4 races, speed's likely to be a dominating factor. Post 1 through 7, play fair. 8 and out, there's a little bit of a bonus, Terry. In race number 4, we got a scratch with the 7-horse. Didn't look like he was going to factor much into early speed because Peak of Chic is going to be burning the dirt.
Yeah, that's only real speed, although it's going to have a little bit of competition from the 3 and the 9. Mm-hmm. And as far as the overlays go, the 3 has a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be just under 4 to 1. And Morning Line has got it at 8 to 1. The 9 is supposed to be 1.5 to 1, and it's listed at 5 to 1 on the Morning Line.
So a couple horses in here that could provide some value. Let's see what the early shape race looks like. Again, most of the horses here, if we pay attention to how the race shapes out, most want to be middle back. 7, as you mentioned, Terry, is not in here. All that early speed belongs to the 2 and the 9 at a distance where most of the horses go wire to wire. The 9-horse has the best combination of early speed and late speed. I do worry a lot of times. Yesterday, I think it was actually in that race 3 that you mentioned there, Barry. The 4-horse was a lone P horse, but it had a little bit more speed in front of it, a little bit more closers behind it, and did manage to win. But anytime I see, like in these 3, just horses that are by themselves, a lot of times they get great trips. So keep an eye on the 2, the 9, and the 5. Would not be surprised if the winner came from that trio, Terry. Do you see any? Yeah, you got the 2 in there too, and the 5. Do. So yeah, I mean, all of us have them as potential winners.
Yeah, I have that 2 as my first pick. I'm sorry. Peak of Chic. Peak of Chic.
Peak of Chic.
Peak of Chic. Okay.
Yeah, they're making them rhyme, right?
Peak all right, that's right. You're right. She has finished in the money in 5 out of her last 6 races. She won 3 of those starts, and she won the last race in those 3. And then I like 4 Cajun Cousin as my second pick. Won her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 6, as you referred to, Awesome Pal, was my third pick. She won her last race. Yeah, thanks. You're appreciate welcome. It. She won her last race, which is a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, who in the last 7 days, this jockey's won 4 out of 10 starts with 2 seconds, 2 thirds. And as my long shot, I like the number 5, Starship Rogue. She ran second in her last race, only losing by a head, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet $10 to win on the number 2 horse, and then I'm going to play a pick 4 I'm going to use the 2-4 with the 3-6, and then the 1-3-6-7, and then the 6-9 in the last leg.
Good morning, Anna. Tada, thank you for joining us. I think you like the 7 horse. I would guess, since it's scratched in race number 4, that you like the 7 in race number 3, Bionic Cat. But let us know if that's where you like the 7 horse, Anna. We'd appreciate that, so that we can all keep track. And when that race comes, make sure we're on the lookout for that one. In race number 4, I like the 2 horse here. As I mentioned early on, a lot of them can go 2-2-2. Peak Chic is a neck and a head from winning 5 of the last 6 and smoked the field last time out with the top last race speed figure. Number 9, Miss Pepina, has a lot of upside in her game, catches a little bit of weight break today, and is a lone EP horse in a field full of mid-pack and closer types. So it should get a really good trip. Number 4, Cajun Cousin. This one is all or nothing at Parx. Ran there 9 times, 4 wins, nothing else to show for the other 5. But it's never been off the board at the distance. 4 times out, 2 wins, a second and a third. Finally, number 5, Starship Rogue. Big run off the bench with much better pace numbers from the beginning to the middle of the end. And maybe race number 2 off the sidelines, Terry, proves to be better than race 1. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick for 2, single into 2, single into 3. I'm going to go all in the third leg. Use that big word. And then 3, 9, and 10 to close it out. I felt like in race number 6, I think there was like 6 horses in it, and I felt like 6 of them had a shot to win.
Yeah, it's pretty wide open. That's why I've got 4 horses in mind.
Mm-hmm. So. All right, so let's move forward to race number 5, and suddenly you're echoing a little bit, Terry.
Okay, I
don't know why that works sometimes. A mile. This one's at allowance 10,000. The distance is 1 mile and 70 yards. Purse for 60 grand. So they're running for a little good chunk of change here. A mile and 70 yards, profile of a winner, tactical speed. But once again, we find 33% going wire to wire. So huge speed bias out there at the Philadelphia track. There is a rail, strong rail bias for Sicily Mike. And then the inside 3 still benefits over the rest of it. 4 through 7 play fair. 8 and out. Major penalty, Terry. So speed does work. You don't want to be 8 or 9. So neither one of them are going to factor early on, Terry.
That's probably true, but there's lots of speed in this race. You've got the 4, 5, and the 8 who show plenty of speed. And then the overlays is the 3, which is supposed to be, really low odds. And they got it at I think that's
about 3 to 5
3
versus
to 5,
versus like 8 to 5 or something like
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the 8, which is supposed to be around 6 to 1 simulated odds, and it's 15 to 1. So that might be a nice play.
It has a chance to be forwardly placed too.
Yep.
Let's see if we agree with that on the race 5 way to the winner's circle worksheet. Well, the 2 is out. That takes a little bit of the potential early speed out, but here you have 4 horses, all of which should compete for the lead. So I think this one can get a little bit hot up front, Terry. And then you have this lone PC horse, the 7, which has a 3 horse, has a 7-point late pace edge. If you combine early speed and late speed, 7 points better than the rest of the field. I agree with the simulator. That 3 horse could be tough to beat.
Yeah, I also agree with. Oops.
Yeah, you didn't mute yourself.
Oh, okay. I also agree with that. That 3 Malibu Star has won 2 races in a row at Parx Racing. He's going for a hat trick now and likes this distance. And then number 6, my second pick is Crafty Don. He ran second in his last race, and he has a jockey who in the last 7 days has been in the money 11 out of 14 starts, and he's won 8 of those races. And number 7 is my third pick, Brett's World. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and this combination in the last 14 days have finished in the money 4 out of 4 races, won 2 of those, has a good workout on March 1st. And then I like this, my long shot, number 1, Silica Mike.
The 1 or the 5? Because you have the 5 here in your picks.
Oh, do I?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's the 1.
The 1, yeah, okay. The 1. We'll go back and change. We're in race number 5.
Yeah.
We'll go back and change this to the 1, and then look at this. Like magic. Uh-oh. There you go. Number 1.
Okay. All right. Well, he finished third in his last race, and in his last 3 races, and the rail is winning at a 23% clip. And I'm going to play $10 to win on number 3.
I thought you were going to say 3 to win on the 10 and be like, all right. All right. I like in race number 5 as my top pick, the Malibu Star, like you, Terry. Smashed the field in the last 2, crushed the pace numbers across the board, has a chance to get an ideal trip. So it looks pretty good for me from there. The 4-horse, Exit Right at Parx, has exited into the winner's circle a lot. 22 races, 11 of them it's won. 4 came in second, 4 came in third. So quick math says 19 out of 22 in the money. And this one showed considerably more effort late last out. I like to see that because a lot of times that carries over to the next race. 7, Brett's World, very consistent performer and did run a little bit better fractions last time out. So that's an indication to me, a horse that's getting more fit. And then finally, Crafty Don, the 6-horse in here, major upgrade in its early pace figures last time out, increased its speed figure 4 races in a row. So looking to make it 5. I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, the 3 with the 4, the 3, 4, 7, the 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8 in race number 5. So in race number 6, I think this is the one. Yes, this is the one where Barry likes God Still Loves Me in race 6, where they're going to go 6.5 furlongs, claiming 16,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime. The purse here is 26 grand. At 6.5 furlongs, as you can imagine, Terry, speed is the way. 38% go wire to wire. Post positions are a little funky because it's in, out, in, out, in, out. So you probably want to have a lane that's in the middle more and maybe outside. Our simulators in race number 6 show that the 6-horse is scratched. And looks like there's plenty of speed here to chase down.
Yeah, there's a lot of speed there. Who knows who'll get to the lead first or to the quarter pole first, because you have the 2, 4, 3, and 1 who have lots of speed. And, the only one that doesn't show much speed is that 7-horse. But anyway, the 3 is an overlay, a little bit from 2 to 1 to 5 to 1, and also the 5, which is pretty nice. It's a little bit like 2.5 to 1 versus 4.5 to 1. So
the 3-horse and Lives on Fire, is that back here in race number 5? Today came out. 3-horse Lives on. Which race are we talking about there? Lives on Fire. All right, in race number 4, Charles, very liking the 3-horse there, one that neither one of us have. So also circle that one in your program today as well. And God Still Loves Me is, as you mentioned, Terry, that rail horse got a chance to take the lead. If we look at the way to the winner's circle for race number 6, there's plenty of early speed here. The 1, God Still Loves Me, has a really good chance to get the lead, but he's going to get a lot of pressure from the 4, the 2, and the 5. The 6-horse is out. So even though it looks like this race should favor early speed because there's only 2 up in here, 4 out of the 6 horses are going to be burning. So that could give a horse like the 3-horse with a little bit of late pace an opportunity to maybe capitalize if they go a little bit too quickly. You agree with Barry. You like God Still Loves Me as your top pick.
I do. She ran second in her last race after winning the previous race and was claimed by a trainer who wins 22% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. Number 3 is my second pick. That's that one you said might be there, right?
Yeah, might get a nice trip if they all go too fast.
Well, Snappy Ride. She finished 5th in her last race after hopping and getting a really bad start, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter. And then number 7 is my third pick, Advocate Harbor. She likes Parx Racing. She finished in the money in 46% of the races that she's raced here, and the distance won't be a problem. My long shot is the 4. She has an early foot, so her early speed running style will help her chances, and she can improve at this shorter distance. I'm going to play a 50-cent trifecta. It's a rich trifecta, 1-3 with the 1-3-7.
Hopefully it makes you rich, Terry.
Yeah, I would hope so. Anyway, it's going to be the 1-3 with the 1-3-7 with the 1-3-4-5-7.
We have the same horses, just in a little bit of different order, at least in our trifectas anyway. I'm going to start in race number 6 with the 4-horse Cat Alone. Did run the top last race speed figure. It is the lone EP type horse in a field that is backloaded. So I think the 4 is going to get a pretty trip around the track. Number 5, Baby Fade. Last race was better than it ended. And I expect today that you'll see Baby Fade hold her speed longer. Looks like a little bit of a value play too if we get 9-2. Number 3, Snappy Ride. It was a tough call between the 3 and the 1 for me here, but every now and then Snappy Ride just throws in a race that if it puts that one in here today, I don't think anybody would be able to beat it. Just one of those horses that like goes boom, 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 and bam, boom, 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 bam. If we get the bam race today, look out. And then number 1, God Still Loves Me, was the favorite last time out, was beaten. Trainer Felix Flores Coba rebounds at 32%, and a horse that has plenty of room to make its way up in the third start off a layoff. And if you remember correctly, this is the race I think I went all in, Terry, on my pick 4. So I think that really any one of these horses in here has a really good shot to win. I'm going to go with the 50-cent trifecta, 3, 4, 5, with the 4, 5, with the 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7. So we got a couple different ways. Well, I don't think we can, both of us can't hit this trifecta, Terry, because I have the 4 and the 5 in the middle and you don't. So there's only one or the other in that case. And I don't think you're echoing anymore either, Terry. So you stop for whatever reason you started, for whatever reason you ended. If we can only figure that out.
Yeah, no.
That would be wonderful. And you're the only one that does it, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
All right, race. And we've been doing this together the longest. So we should have our technology should be the most synced. Race 7 is 6 furlongs, claiming $5,000, non-winners of 2 in a year. The purse is $18,000. As we've mentioned, tactical speed is the way to go. Post positions really aren't that big of a deal in terms of who's going to win and who's going to lose, though you probably would rather wear an 8 and up than anything else. Our simulation for race number 7 sees Cabra Chica on the sidelines. And again, one that stands out that they're going to have to catch.
Yeah, that's World Gone Wild. That 9 horse should have her own way. Should be able to get to that front. And then it's also the nice overlay, too. It's supposed to be a little less than 2-1. So it's double the odds at 4-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, and before, if you remember, Barry pointed out that when we have a situation like this with the 9 horse, where it is actually an overlay, 4-1 morning line, looks like fairer odds are closer to 2-1, and has more than a 60% chance to have the lead. Barry likes to put a little bit of action, win, place, and show on those horses. And maybe we'll see that be the case again today. So again, circle that one in your program in race number 7. 4 horse being out, could have had a tactical advantage in here. This race looks pretty balanced to me. I think every horse should get the race that it wants. All but the 2, the 7, and the 1 have similar early speed. So it's a race that could be a little bit quick up front, although I wouldn't be surprised if they're patient. If they are impatient, the 1 horse that has a big in-race advantage is the 1 horse that has a 9-point late speed advantage over the rest of the field. This is another one, Terry, that I think is pretty wide open in the middle of the card today.
Yeah, that could be right, but I do like that 9 horse. I think it's going to get the lead and not give it up. So she won her last race at Parx Racing, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, so she's got all those boxes marked. Number 6, Live Aid, my second pick, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. She has a bullet workout on February 8th. And then number 3 is my third pick. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 29% of the races when dropping a horse off of a claim. And then my long shot, number 1, Isabella Smile. She won her last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 5. I'm going to use the 3, 6, 9, single the 4, then in the 9th, single the 3, in the 10th, single the 6, and in the 11th, I'm going to use the 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Oof. 3 singles in the middle. I hope they hold up for you, Terry.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Indeed. Well, then you have a nice bunch of horses at the back end to carry you home. So let's cross our fingers for Terry in race number 7. I'm going to put some thoughts behind the 10 horse here as the winner, A Fleet Diva. This horse on a fast track, which is what we have today, has been out 6 times, 4 wins, and a second. And just last time around the track, just put some blowout numbers down. So kind of surprising that one didn't make your picks in there somewhere, Terry. Number 9, World Gone Wild. This one loves to win. Been on the track 30 times, has 10 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. That's a nice maintenance workout between races and does fit that Barry profile of an overlay with a 60% chance to get the lead. Number 3, Leviosa. This one's dropping off the claim for trainer Michael Pino. It's a 29% angle for the trainer. But this one's an all-or-nothing horse on the fast track as well. Been out 11 times, 5 wins. And the other 6 races, nada. So win or bust. And then finally, number 6, Live Aid. This one's taken a pretty big class drop here. And in the third off the layoff kind of regressed a little bit. So maybe a candidate for a bounce back race here. It bounced back the last time it had a 4-race cycle. I'm going to do a 50-cent try with the 3, the 9, the 10, the 9, 10, with the 3, 6, 7, 9, and 10 in race number 7. Race 8, Terry, I think we got about 5 minutes to the next race. So that one is the first of the stakes races. And Funky, you're echoing again. I can't figure out why. 6 furlongs. This is the Fishtown Stakes. The purse is $75,000 for horses that are 4 years old and up. Again, 6 furlongs. You want some early speed. Perhaps you have a little bit of a bonus if you wear an 8 or out. In race number 8, Terry, a couple scratches, the 2 out, the 6 out. Neither one of them looked like they were going to be part of the early speed or providing any value.
No, but this is another race with lots of early speed. You got the 8, 9, 4, 5, and 1 who show some speed. And then you also have a nice overlay with that 4 horse, supposed to be less than 2 to 1, said 2.5 to 1 on the morning line. And the 3 horse also, am I looking at the right? No,
I think the 8 horse.
8 horse, yeah. It's a little bit of an overlay. It's supposed to be almost 2.5 to 1 simulated odds, but it's listed at 4 to 1 on the morning line. So, and then of course you see there's 2 scratches.
Indeed. So in this race, number 8, we do got a couple scratches. The 2 and the 6 are not in this spot. Everybody here, nobody really wants to truly be the leader. All but the 7, 6, and 3 have similar early speed. So that 6 is not in. So only the 3 and the 7 probably not going to be a part of the front. Although the 3 horse, if they go fast, has a 8-point late pace advantage. The 4 horse looks like it's got the best early speed, late speed combination. In a shape like this, I would expect the horse to be the speed of the speed, to be the one that could have the best shot to win. Terry, who do you think has the best shot to win?
All right. Well, let's see. In this race here, I like that number 4, Twisted Ride. She has won 2 races in a row at Parx Racing, and she's going for a hat trick, of course. That's one of my favorite angles. She has the highest last speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 8's my second pick, 5 Dreams. He has finished in the money in 8 out of his last 8 races, so he's very consistent, winning 3 of those and finishing second in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 9, Smooth, which is what you are. He's ran second in his last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then as my long shot, I like number 3, Sir Alfred James. He drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. I like to bet $10 to win on the 4. I'm going to play a pick 4. I'm going to use the 4 as a single. 9th, the 3 as a single. 10th, the 6 as a single. And then I'm going to go with the 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
And Barry says Paco's going to ride the 9, Smooth B. I'm about as smooth, Terry, as a 30-course sandpaper. And that's something you know about as a person who used to be in the industrial world. It's not very smooth at all. Paco had an interesting ride yesterday on that 1 horse that was 2 to 5 that would have cleaned out my helped me hit that pick 4. It would have hit 2 pick 4s in a row if that one had won. I was kind of that ride wasn't my favorite at all. In any case, I'm not on the horse, so I don't get to make the call, but still wasn't my favorite ride. A 4 horse here, Twisted ride here at Parx, 11 times, 5 wins, 2 seconds, 2/3, so 9 out of 11 in the money. Did run the top last race, speed figured another one that can pop a really big effort from time to time. Number 8, 5 Dreams, another Parx lover, 9 races, 4 wins, 3 seconds, and 1/3. So it makes it 8 out of 9 in the money. This one's a very consistent performer and usually makes a giant mid-move. So I think you're going to see 5 Dreams try to come out of that turn with a lot of momentum. There's that Paco horse, Smooth B. I think this one should be close to peak form in its third start after a layoff. A little bit of an overlay according to our odds, and has a chance to be on the lead. Finally, number 1, Dreams Untold. You're putting together Frankie Pennington and John Service. They've run 18 races together, Terry, and they managed to win 8 of them. That's a big number. I'm going to do a pick 4 here as well. I'm going to go with the 4 and the 8 is my first 2, and then the 2, 3, and 8, the 1, 3, and 8, and I don't even have that 6 that you singled up in there, Terry, with the 1, 4, 6, and 8. So I'm a little bit concerned about my pick 4. And with singles, I'm a little bit concerned about yours because it's kind of hard sometimes to do that. Considering how many singles Terry has today, he should also perhaps consider just taking his top pick in every race for $1 and doing the pick 4 and the pick 5, because if they all happen to win, then he would double his payouts for $1.
And I want to mention that the 4 in this race is my pick of the day, and my pick of the day yesterday won and paid, I think, $9.80. So
not bad. So race 1 is on the way, and right now that Speed Horse, as we thought, Yaloma is on the lead, but it's being gobbled up right now. You have on the outside, the 6 horse has the lead with the 2 now on the rail. So they went through the opening quarter in 23-3. The 2 horse is on race number 1. Looks like the favorite at 3-2. He's got the rail. He's got no excuses, and but it looks like jockey is still shaking the reins a little bit, trying to get him to wake up. He's going to have to come to the outside of the 6 horse because the 6 horse is kind of drifting down to the lane a little bit there. I don't know that the 2 is going to have the juice to get him. It looks to me like the 6 is going to be your winner, Terry, a runaway winner. As a matter of fact, in the opener, it's going to go 6. And then it looks to me like the 2, 6, 2, 3 in the opener at Parx. The 6 horse going off at a nice 7-1 was my 4th pick. So I could have had the exacta in there. I wish I would have had the exacta in there to get it started, Terry. But the one thing we noticed there again, Speed did get to the front. Speed did hold on, and Speed won. So I wouldn't be surprised, and it wasn't the favorite either. So, people talk about a speed bias at a track or a closer's bias. Well, if all the horses are winning are the favorites and they're up front, it's not necessarily a speed bias. It's probably the best horse bias. But if horses that are winning at prices get up to the front or come from off the pace regularly, then you have a better sense of what the bias looks like.
that's correct.
All right, so let's go off to race number 9, Terry. After race number 8 is in the race number 1 is in the books. Race number 8 is in the books for us. And race 9, another one of these $75,000 stakes races. This is the Penn's Landing Stakes, $75,000 for fillies and mares that are 4 years old and up. 6 furlongs, 6.5 furlongs. Again, 38% go wire to wire. The post positions are a little bit odd because it seems like it's, if you're on the inside, you do poorly. 2nd and 3rd, you do okay. 4 through 7, poorly. 8 and out is a plus. So I that's just kind of quirky to me. I don't know how much value to actually put into that. And then in race number 9, we do have no scratches, but we do have plenty of speed.
Yeah, we do. We have three horses that show quite a bit of speed, the 9 and the 3 and the 1. I actually think that 3 should get to the quarter pole first, though, after looking at the form. And then 1 and 3 are the overlays. 1 is double what it's supposed to be simulated odds. It's supposed to be around 5-1, and it's listed at 10-1 in the morning line. And then the 3 horse is supposed to be less than even money, and it's listed at 1.6-1. So, which is, I guess, what, about 5 or 460, 480, something like that.
So which one are you looking about?
The 3.
The 3 horse, yeah. So like 8-5 down to like 3-5, somewhere in there, or maybe 4-5 in that range. In race number 9, we have a pretty balanced race here. No P horse. This is where if there was one like here by itself, I would probably make a focus on that, but it's not there. So the 1 and the 3 are going to get out to the front. The 3 horse does have a plus advantage when you put together early speed and late speed. So I think you're going to see a pretty good effort out of that horse. As far as late pace, this closer back here by himself does have the second most late speed. The most late speed belongs to the 2 horse, although we saw speed hold up there in race number 1, Terry. I think that could be the theme throughout the day. Held up yesterday pretty well for the day as well. You have the 3 horse Disco Ebo, going to be on the lead, probably going to be the winner.
Yeah, and I kind of looked at yesterday and how they ran yesterday, and so that kind of influenced how I was picking the horses today. So I liked a lot of these speed horses. This 3 Disco Ebo, she won 4 out of her last 5 races, and has the highest speed figure at today's distance, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 2 is my second pick. She has finished in the money in 9 out of her last 10 races. She's won 3 of those. She finished 3rd in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 8 is my third pick. She has won all 5 of her last. She has won 5 out of her last 10 races, and she won the last 2 in a row. And then number 5 is my long shot American Pyramid. She has won 2 races in a row at Park Racing, and her early speed running style will help her chances. I'm going to bet $10 to win on the number 3 horse.
Yeah, I think if you get 3 to 5 or 4 to 5 on Disco Evo, that could still be good value. This horse has won 4 of her last 5 races and just wrecked the competition in the last few. Third race off the bench, so a chance to even be better than when it wrecked the competition. Number 2, Sweet Wilmenia. This one loves to run at Parx 14 times, 9 wins, a second and 3/3. What's interesting to me is Kendrick Carmouche comes in just to ride this horse today. And usually Kendrick does exceptionally well at Parx. Number 8, Nurturing. This horse has been undefeated in 2023, running away from the competition at the end of the race. And again, another horse with Charles's favorite angle, potentially better in the 3rd off the break. And then the 1 horse, Liz Colvin. This one ran in a grade 3 last time out. And those last 2 works getting ready for this drop in class today are really nice. I unfortunately don't have much money left, so I wanted to put it in races number 10 and 11. I think, yes, indeed, I did put some money in races 10 and 11. Speaking of race 10, that's where we're going to take our handicapping talents next. It's the 3rd of the $75,000 non-graded stakes races. Washington's Crossing, which that was in Trenton, if I remember my history correctly. Valley Forge, not all that far from Philadelphia. It's just there. Just looked at. Didn't have a chance to go there, unfortunately. Other more pressing needs. It's someplace I'd like to go someday. At 1 mile and 70 yards, Tactical Speed wins. 1 out of 3 horses go wire to wire. Very strong inside 3 bias for Prince of Rain, being Prince, I suppose. Terry, if we look at the way this race shapes up early on, American Patrol was going to be part of the early speed. Not today, so maybe Ruby Blue and Market Maven, maybe they won't be caught.
Well, I'll tell you, that 8 horse has got a big advantage since the 9 has been scratched out of this race. I think the 8's going to beat that 2 horse to the quarter pole. And then the 1 horse is a pretty nice overlay. If you see there, it's supposed to be less than 2 to 1.
I think, Terry, and I might be wrong. Hold on a second. Let's go to race 10. I think the 2 horses actually scratched.
Oh, is it? Oh, it is.
Yes,
yeah, you're right.
So let me just take that guy out of there.
Your 2 is out. So that means that 8 has nobody. Mm-hmm. So I should have remembered that. I should have remembered that because the 2 was another horse that I liked pretty much.
So you're going to go 6, 3, 8, and then what is your next pick there?
6, 3, 8. And look at here. 6, 3, 8, 7.
6, 3, 8, and if I remember correctly, didn't you single the 6 in this spot?
I did.
Yeah, in your pick 4. So so all your bets are correct. So it just looks to me like
I just
forgot to knock that guy out of there.
I forgot to change that. So anyway, and then the 1 is a nice overlay. It's listed. It's simulated odds are 1.5 to 1, and it's listed at 8 to 1 in the morning light.
Yeah, I was a little startled when I saw that 2 horse up there, and I didn't see the 2 horse in my picks. I'm like, wait a minute, what did I miss?
You didn't miss anything. I did.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, Terry. Right? I mean, we're both hustling to get ready. So the 2 is out, the 9 is out. So those are 2 horses that could have provided some pace. There's probably not going to be a whole lot of speed in here. The 8 horse now is going to take that mantle. The 6 horse hasn't really showed that it wants to be on the lead. The 5 hasn't really showed that it wants to be on the lead. If this 8 horse can get out, run comfortable fractions, Terry, they might not run this one down. If they are going to run it down, the 2 that have the most late pace are the 1 and the 3. So those 2 will be trying to run down. Pace is going to make this race, Terry. If they go fast, 8's got a chance to be beat. If they go moderate to slow, they might not catch that one.
Yeah, I like the number 6 horse in here. Tough Tickets. I singled it, as you saw. He finished really poorly at Aqueduct, but he clipped hills and steadied at the 5/8. He returns to Park Racing, where he finished in the money in both of his starts, so he can run at this track. Number 3, Treasure Trove, is my second pick. He came in from Royal Park to try Parx Racing after winning 2 out of 3 races this year. Number 7, Double Crown, is my third pick. He finished third in his last race at Parx Racing, and the distance won't be a problem. By long shots, the 8. He has won 3 out of the last 6 starts and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And I'm going to play a $1 double 6 with 4, 7, and 8.
In the second to last race of the day, I'm going to go with that 8-horse, Ruby Blue. Much better through the middle and the end of its last race. And this old man just loves to hit the board. I think this one's 9 years old. 89 races, 22 wins, 17 seconds, 16 thirds. And I think a big beneficiary of the 2 and the 9 scratching out of here. Terry, I'm going to mute you for a second because you're echoing again. I'm going to go with behind that 8-horse, number 1, Prince of Rain, Prince of Pain. A lot of fast works at Penn, getting ready for today, but the horse does run at Parx. Nice overlay, too, according to the simulator. A lot of times I'm not a big fan of the Penn to Parx thing, but it's just working out at Parx, mostly races at Parx. Been working out at Penn, mostly races at Parx. Number 3, Treasure Trove, has plenty of back class in here, and every now and then has some brilliant late pace down the stretch. And finally, number 6, Tough Tickets. It's another one that I do think should benefit from the 2 and the 9 scratching. Should be forwardly placed. I'm going to do my standard try, 1, 3, 8 with the 1, 8 with the 1, 3, 4, 6, and 8. And the final race of the day is race number 11. So they get out of the $75,000 stakes races, and now they're going to head off to a 6 furlong, still decent allowance, $10,000 for a purse of $60,000. 6 furlongs, again, early speed does okay. Tactical speed, you want to probably wear an 8 or an out. That's 1 through 7 plays fair. So post positions aren't deal breakers or deal makers. In race number 11, Mr. Terry, looks like there's a couple of horses, the 7 and 8, both want to get out.
You unmuted me and I muted me at the same time. Anyway, who knows who's going to win the race to the quarter pole, because there's several horses here. There's the 8, 7, 4, and 6. We have plenty of early speed. Anyway, the only overlay I really see here is that 4-horse. He's supposed to be a little less than a little more than even money, and he's listed at 3 to 1 in the morning line. So.
And maybe a little bit of overlay too with his 7-horse get the W,
yeah.
3 to 5 versus 2 to 5. One that should be up on the lead. Melvin back in race number 10. He likes a trifecta box with the 8, the 6, and the 5. So we both have the 8 and the 6, lacking the 5. Wish for peace. We wish that one comes in and makes your nice trifecta there. Hopefully a nice payout for you.
Be nice.
Race number 11, Terry, the final time we're going to look at our way to the winner's circle all the way down here. All but the 8, the 6, and the 3 have similar late pace. This is a kind of a barbell race. Everybody wants to be, you got 5 horses that want to be forwardly placed, and you got 6 that want to be in the back. Really not a whole lot in the middle. I would suspect, just based upon experience, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see the winner come out of this 5. One of them will get to the lead or be close to the lead and then power through at the end. The one that has the most late pace, though, if those front 5 go too fast, is the 4-horse, Terry. Who do you think is going to win the closer?
Well, first of all, I think this closer is a real wide open race. That's why I use so many of them in my pick 4 and pick 5. But I like the number 4 as my top pick, Easy Day. Won his last race at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning jockey. And the trainer wins 83% of the time when he drops a horse off the win. And then number 8, Cajun Lovers, my second pick, has an early foot. Winning the last 2 races in a row. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And a bullet workout on March 1st. And then number 7, Get the W. Ran second in his last race. And he won the race before. Number 6, my long shot, Asking for Baskin. He has won the only start he had at Parx Racing, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm out of money, so I made no bets.
Out of cash. Last race for me, Easy Day. This guy's dropping off the win for trainer Scott Lake. He's done that 6 times in 2023 and won 5 of them. I mean, how do you bet against that, Terry? Asking for Baskin did show a lot of early speed last time out at Laurel. I think that was at 7 furlongs. Going to shorten up a little bit here to 6 furlongs. And as you mentioned, the one time he did take a trip across the Parx track, he ended up in the winner's circle. And actually, that's something that Charles talked about the other day that I kind of picked up on. He found a nice winner like that with a horse that shows speed and then shortens up a bit. So it's kind of why I upgraded this one. So you're welcome, Charles. I'm not always ripping on you. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, my friend. Number 8, Cajun Lover, is my third choice here. Been smashing the competition since jockey Michael Sanchez got on. And as a bullet workout in that last before coming back to the track today, ran 30 furlongs and 35-1. So I think you're going to see that 8 horse be a part of the early lead, much like the simulator says. They may never catch that one. And then finally, number 1, Speedy Bolt. Last time out, won its first race after coming down from Canada out of Woodbine. And then trainer Luis Linder, when he drops a horse following a win, he's won 3 out of 4. So kind of hard to argue with that as well. When you look at this race for me, the few bucks I have left, 50-cent try, 4-6-8 with the 4-6 with the 1, 4, 6, 7, and 8 to wrap up all of our picks today on this Terry Tuesday at the Ben Salem track. Terry, any final thoughts before? Here are all of our picks. Before we move on, if you're going to bet a little bit today over at Will Rogers, please use the link down in the description below and then head over there. You'll see that it is guaranteed tip sheets, free track of the day. In race number 1, the 6 horse, that is Dixieland Candy, a 4-1 top choice. So let's see if that guy can come home at a nice price. If you're going to bet a little bit of basketball today, college hoops, there's a link to the description down below to Picks with the Professor, college basketball heading into the tournament. Hopefully you've joined Sean's knockout pool. I think they had a pretty good day yesterday. Half the people got knocked out, half were left on. So for half the people, it was a great day. And then also there's a link down in the description below for winning touches. So if you want to get a horse racing gift for a kid, for old fogies like Sean and I, like Terry and I and Charles, or some young kid like Sean, you can go ahead and get that over there. I think I did all of those type of things, Terry. Any final thoughts from you before we leave?
No, just if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell to give yourself notifications when we come on, and give us a like on there, and go to all of our social sites. Give us a thumbs up on places like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Indeed. I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes today from Albert Einstein. Terry, what do you think about that? Albert Einstein says, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality, Terry. Can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So I today and Terry today, we're trying to match the frequency of hitting a lot of winners. That way it can be no other way, Terry. You'll be gone tomorrow, but you'll be back on Thursday. We're going to do Golf Stream both days. Charles will be here tomorrow, then Terry. And then Terry and I will be together on Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week as Charles celebrates the birth of his 4th grandchild, I believe. And then he's going to go try to celebrate in Las Vegas, trying to hit some winners, I think, with the NCAA tournament. So good on Charles.
That's right. Yep. He's going to have fun, I hope.
Indeed. So much like Melvin Torres, thank you. Jay Marco, thank you for the thumbs up. If you agree with them, please thumbs up on Facebook, thumbs up on YouTube. Helps you a little bit with the algorithms. We appreciate that. Whether you're betting college basketball, Terry, you're trying to figure out your frequency so your reality can come true. No matter what it is that you're doing today, we hope that it only ends up in one place, and that can only be our good friend Jay Marco's
Winner's Circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today. Look forward to sharing tomorrow with you, with Charles and myself for Gulfstream. Make sure you check out Sean and Julie tonight on Horse Center. Till we see you again, have a fantastic Terry Tuesday.